Hello lovely people, welcome to my Sequelathon TBR.
Sophie Vlogs.
I meant to take part in Sequelathon last year, but then I ran out of time and did not. So when I saw the announcement video on the T-Hags channel, I was like, yes, this is my year. So I'm going to link to the host down below, which is the T-Hags, Jocelyn and Kathy. They will all be linked down below. Sequelathon essentially takes place between the 1st and the 11th of March, and the whole point is to read sequels. All those series which we start and we never finish, this is the time to try and finish them. So there are 4 challenges, but you don't have to stick to the challenges. I am using the challenges as a little bit of a guide because essentially, number 1, trying to finish my series, just as a general life aim. But number 2, these specific books that I'm about to talk about are actually books that have been in my mind that I want to prioritize specifically. So I'm using this as my excuse to actually do that promptly, because I'm very good at being like, I'm going to read this thing, and then like 3 years pass. So I'm going to go through the challenges, and I'm going to tell you which books I've sort of assigned to them, and let's just go for it. So, challenge number 1 was continue a series you started last year. So I'm going to read Skycircus by Peter Bunzl. This is the 3rd book in the Cogheart series. This was actually the 1st book in the series that I got my hands on because we get sent books to work, and I took this one home because I thought it was the 1st book in a series, and then I was like, oh no, it's not. So I started reading the rest of the series last year. It's a very sweet middle grade series. They always have lots of these cute ideas because there's like these clockwork people, and there's this whole discussion of like, should these clockwork people have rights because they are living beings, but then some people just view them as machines. There's all of these other, like, each book tends to explore like a couple of fun topics. This one has a stupendous travelling circus in it, so I'm just excited. I think it's going to be a really sweet bit of middle grade, and I'm really enjoying middle grade at the moment. So the second prompt is read a sequel to a book you read 3 or more years ago. This is what I mean by I'm really trying to finish my series. 3 years ago, I started reading Gene Wolfe's Book of the New Sun, and I loved it. I've been listening to Alzabo Soup's podcast, but like, it's been 3 years, and I haven't read the rest of it, so I want to read Sword and Citadel by Gene Wolfe, which is the final 2 books, but they're packaged together as one. This one I'm a little bit trepidatious about, only because I'm not sure if I'll be able to read the whole thing in the time, because I find Gene Wolfe is something that involves a lot of thought, and I really want to interrogate all the stuff he's saying, because often there's stuff hidden which, if you're not paying attention, you'll miss. So this is one that I'm going to start during the Sequelathon time, and I'm just going to read it for however long it takes to read it, but this will be like my final one that I just start on and see how we go. But it's a really great fantasy series that turns out to be Dying Earth type thing, but you don't necessarily realise that at the beginning. Where we're at 2 books in, there are some really interesting threads still going on, so I'm really excited to finish it, because then also this is a book that really benefits from a reread, and then in my future I will do a reread, but I need to finish the whole thing first before I can do that. The 3rd one was complete a series. I don't really have any series that I can feasibly complete, so I'm sort of skipping that one. And then the final one is catch up on a series in progress. I think this series is still in progress. I don't know if it's finished again or not, but I've picked Clariel and Goldenhand by Garth Nix, which are a continuation of the Abelson series, which I loved as a kid, absolutely adored it. 1st book is literally next to me, Sabriel. I've just finished a reread of this original trilogy because I wanted to reread them before I dived back into these ones so that everything would be fresh in my mind. So I would like to read both of these in the Sequelathon time period, and then I'll be officially up to date. I don't know if there's another one coming after this one, or if it's done again now, but these are set after the events of the final book of the series, and it's like descendants of those people, and I'm just really excited to see. It's something very interesting with an author, a while after a series is finished, choosing to pick it back up again. What is the story that has inspired them to do that? I'm really intrigued. So yes, those are just all the things I'm planning on reading for Sequelathon. Not a lot, because I think this is going to take me some time, but we'll just see how many of these I'm able to get through. But either way, I really like the concept of this readathon, because I always have series on the go that I need to finish, and hopefully this is going to help. I would love to hear if you're taking part in Sequelathon. What are you planning on reading? What are some series that you're like, oh lord, I need to finish reading this series at some point in the next millennia? Do let me know all of this and more in the comments down below. But otherwise, I will see you next time for something different.